Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you for joining me as we are about to wrap up with Tataru's grand endeavor. So we're back here in Charlian getting ready to undertake this quest to give Tataru her necklace with treasured bonds. I'm really curious to see what it looks like. Claire, I have wonderful news. Thanks to your tireless deliveries, we are now overwhelmed with orders. Mistress Tataru's plan was a success. Of course it was a success. I was involved in it. That's another shipment sent. I don't think I've ever packed so many parcels in my life. What's going on? Do we know him? I don't remember him, but yeah, have we met before? My apologies. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hasdand. Like so many Anish refugees, I left my home in Palakistan and came to Charlian during the final days. You saved my life more than once. Oh yeah, I think I might recognize him now. I've been working at Taru's boutique with Mehdjina and Varsudith, albeit behind the scenes. It's rare that I have occasion to visit the storefront. An unfortunate side effect of the constant demands on all our staff, though I think we would all agree that the hustle and bustle is for the best. But don't you wonder what we'll do once these samples have served their purpose? Our equipment is crafted to last, which is wonderful, of course, but also means that our customers are not like to require replacements for some time. Therefore, if we are not constantly receiving new customers, our good fortune will eventually sour, no? Mistress Tataru isn't so foolish as to not have anticipated such things. I'm sure she's already coming up with new and exciting products to offer our existing clients. Actually, I have an idea of my own. For a new project, I mean. In fact, I presented it to Mistress Tataru just the other day, a new uniform to outfit the academics and researchers of Charlian. Oh, how enterprising. And what did she say? Well, she seemed hesitant, which I could only interpret as reluctant to hurt my feelings with explicit rejection. But then she told me to look into it further and draft a formal proposal for a review. That's wonderful, Mehdjina. When she said to look into it further, did she mean for you to conduct some manner of market survey of the academics and researchers? Just so. But, well, some are involved in such sensitive work that simply approaching them is out of the question, which is to say my petition to enter Labyrinthos was denied. Instead, I decided to try the studium. A secretarial mammoth was only too happy to schedule a meeting with an academic representative. But now that it's come down to it, I'm feeling ill with nerves. If it were on Mistress Tataru's behalf, it would be different, but this was my initiative, my idea. I'd offer to accompany you, but I have to mind the counter. Perhaps you could offer Mehdjina your support. Yeah, if we're going to the studium, I actually know the teachers there. Oh, thank you. And I come as well. I like to start thinking of what supplies we'll need for our artisans once your plan is approved. Of course. Very well then. To the studium we go. So, are we going to be getting like our own sample of the uniform? Because that would be interesting. I do know that we are supposed to receive like a special item as a reward for completing all of Tataru's grand endeavor. I think that's kind of what we've been getting up until now, so seems a shame to not end the whole thing on a good note. This building might well be a temple for how astute it feels. I'm glad I have your company. I was told a Kui Alapo would be meeting us here. I'm sure they will be along shortly. Hello, representatives from Taru's boutique, I presume? Oh, Claire, what a pleasant surprise! I suppose your presence should merit no shock at all, given the breadth of your generosity. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Mehdjina, and I am ever so obliged to you for making the time to speak with us. Kwe Alapo at your service, and there's no need to stand on ceremony. I assure you most of our academics are far more concerned with their research than pleasantries, admittedly to the detriment at times. Anyway, how may I help you today? A uniform for academics and researchers, you say? I myself am ill-equipped to offer an authoritative opinion on the matter, so permit me to arrange some meetings with faculty representatives. Please make yourselves comfortable in the auditorium while I go and summon a few of our more personal personnel. Are we going to speak with the teachers again? That's going to be so nice. I can't even remember the last time I actually stopped by to see them. Oh yeah! I know you. She was like one of my personal favorites when we were doing like the Studium quests. Well, in the Faculty of Archaeology, we spend much of our time trapezing around ancient ruins, which often ends up ruining our clothes, if you'll pardon the pun. An outfit durable enough to handle extended use would be welcome, but it would need to be lightweight and breathable as well. Equatorial deserts can be most taxing, but then again, you'd be surprised just how many relics are hidden at the bottom of lakes, and northern waters can get quite chilly. As it stands, my colleagues and I throw on any old thing for our field work, whatever we have on hand that is suitable for the conditions, with the understanding it may need to be disposed of afterwards. Poor Boric works his fingers to the bones as it is, and if Professor Namono caught me shopping for fancy clothes instead of interns, he'd be the one dressing me down. Misplaced priorities, never mind the tight budget. Now this is what you were hoping to hear, I realize. No, thank you for your candor. It's true new kit can be rather expensive. We must ensure our prices stay affordable. Oh, it's him. The ideal outfit for astronomers? Wait, Romy mentioned something about fashion recently when we were stargazing. What was it? It's not the clothes that make the man Jude, but the man that makes the clothes. Yes, very lovely and poetic, but I haven't the foggiest what it means. Well, I suppose we astronomers often conduct our celestial observations from locales remote and subsequently chilly, mountaintops and the like, so something warm? If warm is truly their only requirement, then I think it's safe to say this is the opposite of an untapped market niche. Ah! The Faculty of Medicine has strict requirements for dress on account of hygiene regulations. Fabrics that are resistant to stains and possess antibacterial properties are a must, for example. Additionally, we students of nutritional sciences must vigorously dart about the kitchen, so dressing for comfort is nearly as essential as cleanliness, and if it were fashionable enough to perhaps inspire others to follow in our footsteps, all the better. Indeed, style is an essential ingredient, like the perfect loaf of Mirvan bread. The ideal outfit should not only embody practicality, but leave all who behold it with a feeling of aesthetic sanctity. Well, she at least offered us helpful information. We require no such clothing in the Faculty of Anthropology, for we make all that we require right here. Rather, Professor Tankin prefers to do so, that he may better understand how necessity begets innovation. I can't say I completely agree with the logic, though I suppose I've grown to appreciate his sense of aesthetics now that the professor and I are. But that has little bearing on your project. Hey! Not long ago, an outfit that emulates ether sickness may have been my answer. However, thanks to the Faculty of Medicine's miraculous, if experimental, treatment, I no longer have such a need. What's more, I don't know if I could bear to don anything but this professional gown, at least for now. I worked so hard to earn it. Well, that's what glamours are for. Well, how'd it go? I don't know, to be honest. Everyone has such different preferences that I'm not sure if it's even possible to satisfy them all. A fair concern. The studium's faculties are filled with opinionated individuals, each with their own peculiarities. Additionally, our academics spend much of their time engaged in fieldwork as opposed to seminars, which further complicates stipulations of dress. Academics sound just like adventurers. Indeed, it was naive to assume that one type of uniform could account for all the needs of all the academics. You'd best return to the boutique. Thank you for your assistance, Mistress Alapo. Yeah, I can see where this is going. Like, she thought she had a really good idea, but it turned out that it wasn't so innovative. Just because it could go in so many directions. I truly thought I had a good idea. No doubt Mistress Tataru knew its folly, but had me research it regardless, so that I might reach the conclusion on my own. She meant well, I'm sure. See how the hardships make you strong. That's an important phrase to you, isn't it? Yeah, Vitra mentioned that, I think. Indeed it is. It comes from the teachings bestowed upon us by the old gods. Many Hanish held fast to those words and their wisdom during the final days so not to give in to despair. Yes, I remember this. When we call upon the divinities, it is not to beg for salvation, but for guidance. So long as we live by their teachings, there is no hardship we cannot overcome. This is a core tenet of Anish faith that has seen us through much adversary since the founding of our nation. Is as you say, hashtag. Yet until you did, it did not occur to me to consider how they might apply to my personal struggle. Coming to Charlian and working with Mistress Tataru at the boutique, I met so many people from all sorts of cultures, been trying so hard to accommodate their wants and needs, I fear my own heritage has become an afterthought. There is no shame in dedicating yourself to your work, and as we all have our limits, compromise and sacrifice are inevitable. May surprise you, but once I aspired to become a steward. To look back on it now, it feels fanciful. Strange that we so easily let our dreams be cast aside by circumstance. I swore nothing would stand between me and my chosen path, and yet, here I am. I know the divinities will guide us wheresoever we go, but what if we stray too far? But I'd be a fool to suggest that perhaps we should return to Thavnar. But Mistress Tataru has done so much for us. We cannot simply leave the boutique on a moment's notice. Maybe not, but what of our family and friends? It's one thing for us to send money and well wishes, but I wonder if we could not do more if we were there, helping to rebuild. We haven't been back to the village since the final days, and if we're already forgetting our own lives, I don't know. I think Mistress Tataru should know how we feel is all. That's fair enough. I mean, if they really want to go back, I don't see her as, stopping them. It's not like she has like a written contract that makes them have to stay. Like if they just explain like, we're really worried, we want to go home and just see how everyone is doing, I think that she would let them. Oh, that was fast. I suppose I have been dedicating myself to work. This is who I wanted to become, a Hanish who has forgotten her culture. Varsadurat says that Mistress Tataru should be stopping by soon. When I asked how she felt about returning to Thavnar, she said she needs time to consider. For my part at least, I think consulting with Mistress Tataru will help put my mind at ease. Man, they're making it sound like they're about to ask her for something unreasonable. My, what a busy counter we have tonight. Hashdaz, it's good to see you out from behind your usual shipping crates. Yes, I thought I'd come and help Mehdjina with her research. We just returned from interviewing academics at the studium. About that, Mistress Tataru. Suffice it to say, the requirements were all radically different. I know I set a uniform for researchers and academics, but I'm afraid I may have deeply underestimated the feasibility of such a project. And that's perfectly alright. The important thing is to learn from what you discover so you can retain and apply that knowledge as you continue on your entrepreneurial journey. The right idea for a new project will find us when it's ready. In the meantime, I have more samples and need a delivery, and seeing as Claire is very conveniently standing within my line of sight... a thousand pardons, Mistress Tataru, but before you continue, I wish to speak with you about a personal matter. You have shown us incredible charity, which makes this all the more difficult to ask, but I wonder if I should return home, to Thavnar. Please do not mistake this as a dissatisfaction with our arrangement. If anything, I've grown so accustomed to life in Charlian that I fear I've begun to forget myself, my dreams, my faith, the person I used to be before I came here. Not only that, in spite of my regular remittance, I worry that our village struggles to rebuild after the final days. While I live happily removed from a burden, I ought to share more. It feels disingenuous to both my home and the many kindnesses you continue to show us. I see. And do you both feel the same? I've been so devoted to my work that I haven't given much thought to returning until Hashdash mentioned it, but to claim that I am not worried about the village would be a lie. I am of similar mind to Mehdjina. I must nevertheless remain here. Among other reasons, there is a project I am resolved to complete. Ah, the necklace. I would be very sorry to see any of you go, but if remaining here causes you grief, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. Which is why I've decided that our next set of samples shall be delivered to Palakistan. Furthermore, I ask that those who wish to accompany Claire on her errand, seeing how your village fare is no doubt the best thing for you both right now, it will help you understand your feelings, after which we may proceed howsoever you desire. And should your colleagues require it, I'm sure you can be relied upon to dispense the perfect advice. Oh, Tataru, you are a doll. Mehdjina, Hashdash, give everyone my regards. Then it's settled. I'll begin preparing the samples at once. Allow me to assist. No matter what happens, we must finish Mistress Tataru's necklace. Are we ready to proceed with the restoration, do you think? I dare say we have enough additional materials thanks to Claire's dedication. As for the work itself, I thought we could entrust it to the lapidary Mistress Taru once apprenticed with. Oh yeah, she did used to work with the Goldsmiths Guild, I think. I'm sure it would mean a lot to Taru. Though, just putting it out there, I'm a goldsmith, I could probably help out. I'm glad you think so as well. Barsharu's capable hands enjoyed Hashdash in Scholar's Harbor. Why are their names so hard? I feel like my tongue just gets twisted over every time I try. I remember when we first set foot upon these docks. After a long, exhausting journey through frozen wastes, after surviving those horrid beasts, Mistress Tataru was a warm beacon of light. Working in the boutique has helped us to rebuild our lives, but I will never forget that feeling of powerlessness. Should I have stayed in Palakistan and tried to defend my people? Was I a coward to flee? Is it a betrayal to my home and to myself to remain here? I can't stop thinking in circles. Anyway, I'm glad for this opportunity to better understand where my heart truly lies. All will be well, I'm sure, but we must be off, lest we miss our connecting flight. Can we actually take airships from the harbor? I honestly don't know. I'm curious about that. I'll have to check that out. Oh, wow. That was quick. We're back. We're truly back in Thavna. Was Razat Han always this grand? I can't believe we lived so close, yet so rarely made the trip. You remember how it was. Village duties always kept us all too busy for travel. Defending pilgrims was trying enough for the stewards even before the final days. I wonder how many temple roads are still traversable. If even those in Razat Han struggle to travel for worship, our feelings of estrangement may be more common than we think. Since we come all this way, would you mind terribly if Ashtan and I toured the city on our own? Let's plan to meet in Palakastan anon. It really is a surprise that they don't come up here that often because, you know, they're really not that far. See, you just have to take the one road and you're already up in the city. Like, I get it, they have chores and duties in the village, but you think maybe for like a couple hours a day they might be able to, you know, go up and visit. Alright, it's been a while. I think I only really come here anymore because of hunts. Home at last. Yes, home. I could finally breathe again. Come, let's go and find the elder. Oh, hello. Elder Yurvet. Hashtash, Mehdjina, how wonderful it is to see you. I've been so worried. Tell me, how is life in Charlian? Are you being treated well? Oh yes, Elder. Our employer, Mistress Tataru, is of the kindest of businesswomen. In fact, she arranged for us to accompany Claire on her errand here so we might enjoy some time at home. That is very good of her, indeed. I'm relieved to hear that you are being looked after. You are ever a guardian to our people. Thank you for seeing these children safely home. Now then, what is this errand you speak of? How splendid! Our steward shall put these to good use, you may be assured. If only we could repay your generosity with something even half as marvelous. Alas, ours is a village of little extravagance. Everything seems as ever it was. Indeed, with the support of the Radiant Host and the funds you and others have sent, we have regained much of the peace we once knew. Thank the sisters. Still, there was something I wished to speak with you about, Elda. You are worried your heart grows distant from Thavnar, that you have wandered too far from home. Then, my child, it is only right that you should wander, that you should roam. Your heart's connection endures no matter where you go. You yet think of us fondly enough to visit, yes? And send us what gil you can spare, do you not? Gestures, perhaps, but not true commitment. Should I not be here with all of you working to restore our village? There is no restoring our village, Hashtag. Without those we have lost, Palakastan will never be what it was. We must instead do all we can to become a new village with a new future ahead of us, although the particulars of our path are not yet clear to me. How so? Ours has always been a settlement of stewards, as well you know, tasked with the protection and preservation of Thavnar's sacred sites. But we have seen our roads shaken and temples defiled by beasts. The material is not always within our ability to protect. What is everlasting is our faith, the bonds between our peoples and of the divine. Through the old teachings, we remind ourselves of life's meaning. Yet we wish to ensure our traditions endure for generations to come. Should we not strive to do more than maintain our temples until pilgrims deign to visit? But I do not wish to tire you with an old man's musings. Surely there are other ways of ensuring our people remain connected to their heritage and faith. All we need is the right idea, something new our village could offer. Well, well, my words seem to have inspired you, and with the worldly insights you have gained, I am sure any future you envision for Palakistan will be nothing short of remarkable. But there is no need to rush. Take some time to speak with the others and make yourselves at home. What a nice old man he is. More precious than Gil, and we get a special present! How foolish was I to think the answer would be so simple. I would come home, roll up my sleeves, and help restore our village the way it was. I would find fulfillment. Alas, not all that was lost can be reclaimed. Our people face a new struggle, but perhaps by discovering new ways for the village to fulfill its duty, we might yet help our community. Exactly. Like the elder said, surely our experiences in Charlian have given us a unique perspective. Not to mention Claire's extensive knowledge of the world, I'm sure that between the three of us we can come up with a brilliant plan to support Palakistan. Yes, you are right. And I'm sure that hearing how everyone fares will give us insights as well. So, not a soul here will ever forget the hero of Palakistan. I'm sure everyone will be just as eager to speak with you as us. There are also others with whom I like to speak once we've finished here. Of course, we mustn't forget to pay our respects. So they're now accompanying us. Aside from the money we and others working elsewhere send back, the village is largely reliant upon the generosity of the faithful. Our avenues of income are quite limited. Unthinkable in a place like Charlian, perhaps, but it's how we've always done things. Even so, I wonder if such an arrangement is still viable in this day and age. Probably not. It will do little good to return home only to become a burden. That's why I'm determined to come up with an idea that will help our village. So we just gotta talk to everyone. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that beautiful equipment you delivered to the elder. As a weaver who crafts armor for our stewards, I would love to hear more about its origins. Created in cooperation with guilds from across the world, I must have a closer look. The final days exposed the limitations of my skills. Traditional Thavnarian techniques alone did not suffice. I'm eager to hone my craft by studying the work of foreign artisans. Although in my weaker moments I often wonder if purchasing armor for our stewards would be a superior solution, alas that would require a surplus of coin as well as available product. As a village sustained by donations and remittances, we would be hard-pressed to afford anything so expensive, even if such suppliers were to venture this deep into the jungle. Okay. So we can actually purchase better equipment if we had something to offer instead. Oh, hello there! Staying for a while or just passing through? Our recovery has been slow but steady, although I am concerned for those who still struggle with wounds our healers cannot cure. The final days may have passed, but grief and trauma are not so easily overcome, or ever for those who must accept them as constant companions. Ours is a tightly knit community, but I worry for those in the capital and abroad. I imagine it's difficult for them to honor the old teachings as they labor far from home. So many of us fled during those dark times. If only we could bring the comforts of community to all Hanish. If it isn't Hashdans and Mehdjina, accompanied by our savior no less. Welcome home, welcome home. True, we're a bit short-handed these days, but we've managed nonetheless. While there's a happiness in being reunited with our young ones, we're just as happy knowing that you are walking your own path, no matter where it leads. I remember Hashdash couldn't wait to become a steward when he was little, but as far as I'm concerned, sending aid from afar is just as praiseworthy as tending to the temples here. Times are changing, and who's to say that this cannot be another form of stewardship? Steward who supports the village from afar. Never even considered the possibility. Seeing everyone so eager to help one another makes me more determined than ever to contribute. But before anything else, shall we go? Yes, let's. It'll be good to visit. To Perusa, then. Could we ask you to accompany us? The temple roads are perilous, and your presence would be a great comfort. So, we're bodyguard again? Aren't you supposed to be a steward or something? Or were you like in training to become one? Yeah, this isn't like most of the rest of the world where we could just walk wherever we want to and be in like level 90 here. We don't need to worry about being attacked. And I say that no sooner do I say that than we get attacked by a giant snake. I didn't mean to do that. It's okay. It's okay. Look, you guys don't have to be so devoted to following me around. Like, you can step back. When I was little, we used to run through these wilds, playing stewards and imagining fierce battles with hideous beasts. Got the scolding of a lifetime when our parents found out. But when it really happened, when the sky turned red and the jungle spewed with unspeakable horrors, I could do nothing but cower. Perhaps that's why I feel so guilty for not returning, for not doing more, even if it may never be enough. But this time I will rise to the occasion. I never used to give much thought to those who walked these roads before me. Countless pilgrims who risked their lives for faith, aware of the dangers ahead, they pressed on. So strong was their devotion, so sacred this tradition. 'Tis a perilous path you walk, so it is written, and so too our forebears must have felt when braving these jungles to reach what would become our beloved home. I mean, like, it's good to keep some traditions alive, but as we move forward, like, especially with progress and new innovations being made, it gets to a point you really have to question if this is a good idea. Because these people are literally risking their lives to visit these temples when there have to be safer ways. And the village can't survive off the kindness of pilgrims forever. Like, especially if they do plan to, rebuild and, repopulate, and it's just going to get harder and harder. Especially since we do have things like airships now, so people can take maybe little short trips out here. It's been a while. Yes, but we made it. I'm home, Mother, Father. Here at Perusa, we may commune with the spirits of the departed. Neither Mehdjina's nor my parents survived the final days. I told them about how you saved us and that we're doing well. I know they will rest easier for it. May the next time we visit be to deliver glad tidings from Balakistan. Though I was relieved to find the village in a better state than I feared, it seems there are still issues we might address. Finding a steady source of income, for instance, so that the stewards can be properly outfitted without overwhelming our weaver. I was also troubled to hear about those who continue to struggle without the support of a local community. There must be some way to provide respite. Yes, indeed. The question is what? Do you have any thoughts? Well, never underestimate the power of a partnership. Indeed, Mr. Tataru developed the boutique through close partnerships after all, and look how far it's come. Wait, that's it! If Balakistan were to enter into a partnership with the boutique, that might lead to great opportunities. I think you're onto something. If the boutique sold wares the village produced, for instance, our people would have a reliable revenue stream. But what can Balakistan offer, and to whom? How about amulets and talismans, or images of the deities? Something simple, created with love for our homeland and our faith, so no one forgets or feels forgotten. I like that. Our temples were created in remembrance of our ancestors and divine teachings. The reminders needn't only take the form of great works. A small keepsake may be just what our scattered brethren need to reassure themselves that they are still members of the community. This could be the answer we were looking for. I can't wait to tell Mistress Tataru. Rather, I can't wait for you to tell Mistress Tataru, Mehdjina. It was your idea, after all. Pah, a team effort, let us say. I certainly couldn't have come up with it without you and Claire. If our proposal is approved, Mistress Tataru will no doubt need assistance in Charlian, and I am ready and willing to provide it. But what of you, Hashdara? What will you do? I too will return to the boutique. One day I will come home to stay, but for now I wish to do all in my power to help our village thrive. I'm relieved to hear you say so. Let us go and consult with the elder about our plan. Little surprised that they didn't think about that sooner. Oh well. I hear you were kind enough to escort these children to Barusa. Again, you have my gratitude. Are your feelings any clearer for it? I think so. Mehdjina and I talked it over, and we believe we have struck upon a new way the village might support our people. Tangible mementos of our faith? An interesting proposition. Many here will be glad to create such reminders. I expect those unable to perform strenuous labor will be especially grateful for an opportunity to contribute to the prosperity of our village, to say nothing of the options these additional funds would provide. But most importantly, we would be able to help those who have chosen to live apart from us feel that they are much more connected to their community and their faith. I am proud of you both for discovering such an innovative way to do so. It would likely mean Ashta and I will stay in Charlian for the foreseeable future. And take with you the knowledge that no matter where your journey takes you, our hearts will always be as one. May the sisters guide you. We shall come back again, I promise. In the meantime, we shall see to our plans to fruition. I will send word once we've determined the particulars. Right, then. Charlian awaits. Not as good as some of the previous ones that we did, like especially when we were out in the Far East. That was hilarious. But you know, it comes full circle. Like, we're just tying up all the loose ends here. And we should be able to see the necklace, so we should at least be able... I've just been dying to see how it's going to look like. I've got a feeling that we're just about wrapping things up, though. Claire, the necklace is back from the lapidary. He had nothing but fond memories of Mistress Taru and was eager to pour his everything into the restoration. The result is magnificent. The original sapphire, accented with black pearl from the ruby sea and rose shell of wurlet, united by a length of maki leather, a singular necklace symbolizing Mistress Tataru's past and present. By the sisters, what a remarkable gift! Oh, wasn't he aware of it? However, it wants for a finishing touch. Preferably by your hand, Claire, and after hearing about your visit to Palakistan, I know just the thing. In short, we will be proposing a new line of products to help our people feel closer to their roots, yes? So in honor of Mistress Tataru's roots, I would have you inscribe the symbol of Nathad upon the back of the pendant. Aww, it would be an honor. I was hoping that we would be able to add something like that to it. I mean, we basically applied just about all the materials already, but hey, this is like a little personal touch. Painstakingly effort and unwavering focus, you engrave the symbol of the traders onto Tataru's necklace. Any who behold it will surely know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this final flourish was the product of your heroic hand. I'm sure she will adore it. Our work is officially done. I've just received word from Mistress Tataru. She should be arriving in Scholar's Harbor soon. Let's go and meet her there. Okay, great. I want to see it. Like, it better be spectacular. Oh, we're getting a special cutscene. I wasn't expecting a personal escort from the docks, though I dare say I could grow accustomed to it. How was your time in Palakistan? Did you find it worthwhile? So while they do have interest in our equipment, matters of recovery are the greater concern at present. Recovery, yes, but also growth, which may lead to a lucrative opportunity for the boutique, if you will permit me to suggest another new product. What if we offered handicrafts designed and produced by the people of Palakistan, authentic works representative of Hanish culture? For those of us living abroad, reminders of home would do wonders to ease feelings of estrangement, and for others such pieces could be appreciated as beautiful works of art. Our village is up to the task. You will not be disappointed. Doubt not their convictions, Mistress Tataru. A product that embodies Thavnar's spiritual beauty to be shared with the whole world, while the boutique should offer nothing less. Though we've made wonderful progress with our samples, I believe it's time for a change of pace. The handicrafts born from a heartfelt desire to celebrate one's culture is bound to resonate with others. Given her eagerness, I presume Mehdjina intends to stay and help facilitate this new venture, but what of you, Mehdjina? You felt the call to return to Thavnar rather more strongly, as I recall. Yes, well, after talking with everyone at home, I realize that living apart from them does not mean I must forsake my childhood dream of service. I believe I can best serve my people by staying in Sharlayan and continuing to work at the boutique, if you'll have me. With pleasure, Mehdjina. Mistress Taru, if it would not be untoward, we would like to present you with a small token of our appreciation for everything you've done for us. Finally! I'm dying to see it! Not untoward at all! Rest assured that I graciously accept all offerings of praise and adoration, especially ones as fine as this. But how queer! This sapphire looks remarkably like the one Claire? Is this my mother's sapphire? Hers, so now rightfully yours. It's hers. It's really hers. Never in my life did I imagine I'd see this jewel again. It was a part of a family heirloom. When my mother was married, she received it from her mother. How her eyes sparkled when she spoke of one day giving it to me, I'll never forget. But when Father's business failed, we lost everything, and that was the last I saw of it. Though your heirloom did not survive in its entirety, Master Pippin managed to recover the sapphire. From there we collected parts from clients during sample deliveries and commissioned the necklace you now hold. Now that I think of it, Claire often did receive mysterious gifts on those visits, so that's what it was about. Aww. Time after time, I'm reminded of a fortune and coin promises only a fraction of what a wealth of friendship provides. When my family lost its last gil, I became a lapidary apprentice, and that's how I met a certain miner named Mehdjina. We hit it off instantly, chatting every time she brought in gems for appraisal, and then one day she came not with her usual haul, but with an invitation to join the Path of the 12. The rest, as they say, is history. One serendipitous meeting that led to so many others, that led to so many incredible adventures. Aww. That's a poor little girl reunited with a priceless memento. Our teachings say that there is more ugliness than beauty in this world. To live is to suffer. But we never need suffer alone, and what is more beautiful than the bonds we share with others? Indeed, it is these connections that give meaning to our lives. Connections for which I too am grateful, and thus compelled to advise that we return to the Agora. The counter remains unmanned, and we mustn't neglect our clients. Quite right, quite right. Back to work with the lot of us. We've got new products to plan. I'm not sure what I expected. I don't know. Because I thought we only got like one black pearl and like only one shell. Instead we got multiples of it. So it feels weird. Not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. Claire, on behalf of the entire boutique, allow me to thank you for all you have done. I'm ashamed to admit that in our excitement to prepare Mistress Tataru's surprise, Barsudith and I failed to prepare something for you. And that sounds like the cue for Mistress Tataru. Mwahahaha! Very soon, Claire here will no doubt embark upon another journey to corners of the world unknown, as she is wont to do. So, to wish you well in making new friends, and to remind you of those who will always hold you in their hearts, I have prepared bespoke chocobo barding, crafted with love by one Tataru Taru. Ooh, new barding! That's always exciting. Kind of hoping for an outfit, but hey. I dare say the boutique will be embarking upon its own adventure in the coming days, and with true adventure invariable comes tribulations. But with your compassion, resourcefulness, and reliability, I have every confidence that we shall succeed in our respective endeavors. To ever higher returns of both coin and camaraderie. Oh, and don't think just because you're running off to the other side of the world that I don't intend to solicit your future involvement, Claire. You won't escape me that easily. So I guess this is not us saying goodbye, but I'm kind of worried about what she means by that. Well, there's one thing I learned, it's you can't get rid of Tataru. You can try, you can run, but she will find you. Kitty, stop that. Oh, we even get... Oh, we even get a framer's kit. Okay, so we'll have a look at that. Big dreams, found fortune. Alright. Alright, so let's at least take a look at the frame. I don't know what I'm looking for. I never know what I'm looking for when I get a new one of these. I don't see anything here. Am I just blind? Like, what am I supposed to be looking for? I don't know. It was one of these. There we go. Tataru's Bespoke. Other bindings, it looks like. No, let's keep it this way. I like this one currently. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out the Chocobo gear. But this is going to be as much fun to try to track down. Is there a way that we can actually put this in alphabetical order? I think that might be that might be a lot easier. What am I looking for? I'm just going through these like one at a time, like trying to find it. What am I looking for? Okay, so I realized that it's actually called the Wayfinder gear, or the Wayfinder barding. So that's why I was having such a hard time, because my brain did not focus on that part. That's okay, we figured it out in the end. So here we go with the Wayfire barding. So I'm just gonna go home just really quick, because I want to see what it looks like. And after that, that should be us wrapping up the story for Tataru. So, all in all, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Let's give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think that's fair enough. Alright, so Company Chocobo. Okay, so it's rather simple in design, which is actually a nice change, because we get like the big, heavy-looking, fancy stuff, and this is definitely something a lot more of what you would expect an adventurer to wear. But that's it for now, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. So, take care.